Sunshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.
And well, it is a beautiful what? Well, my earpiece just fell out, but that's okay. It is Thursday. And get this, it is a Wednesday, Thursday on the outside, but let me tell you this, my dear friends. Even though you've got all the sunshine you're going to ever need, but I want you to realize now we are yet on the edge, on the, well, tornado, hurricane, the weather's rather brisk on the outside. I want you to be careful about that and be mindful of that very situation that we are. You never know where the hurricane's going to go, so let's be mindful and do what it takes. We know how it is. We live on the Gulf Coast. So what we're going to do, we prepare. It's best to be prepared than not. And you know, as always, I encourage you to be a part of this show. I want you to be a part of the guest. I want you to be a part of the decisions that we make, because why? We are a community station that is telling you what's going on, what you need to know, and all of that good stuff. And today is no different. We've been talking about all week for the last month about strong women. And today, I asked my good friend of many years, the entrepreneur herself, Miss Shelia Green, to come in to be my guest today, because I want, you know, Shelia, thank you, number one, for getting up early. I know how it is.
It was early.
Looking beautiful as usual.
I had to do something for you.
Girl, I knew that. But listen, I wanted you to come in today because of the fact that, like I said, you are an entrepreneur. Since I moved here in Florida, I have watched you.
Okay.
I mean, you have grown and yet growing. Now you are a independent, strong black woman that started it and did it on her own.
Yeah.
And I think that is something to be said. Let me tell you what the coalition is.
Okay.
I look at it like this now, okay, like this is election season. And you know how some people are talking about, oh, well, this woman, should I vote for a woman and all this good stuff. I always tell you, I'm not telling you who to vote for, but I'm telling you that you've got the right that you can vote for who you want to, but I'm going to talk and lay the cards on the table. But the fact of it is, and then, you know, all the static that she goes through, and I'm just saying, I put on your thing last night, you may know my name, but you don't know my story.
Yes.
I mean, but tell us a little bit about Shelia. Then we're going to start off all the way through the parts that I see you grow.
You want me to start off from when I very first started?
Yeah.
I remember I was living in Atlanta. And my brother called me and said, we need you to come home. And I was like, why? You know, I was working for the government, traveling.
Right.
So I had a lot of opportunities to, you know, stay in Atlanta or come back to Pensacola and be with my family. So I decided to come back to be with my family. And that's how it all got started. Believe it or not, it was called Thank God It's Friday. We sold men and women clothing. We were young. You know, I really didn't know what I was doing. But it was fascinating because, you know, sometimes you go through changes in life and you learn from your mistakes. And so we ended up closing the business. We ended up closing it probably after 5 years after I moved back. And then, you know, I went to work with Robert Hill at WRNE radio station when he first originally...
He told me about that.
Yes.
Hey, Mr. Hill.
Yeah. And, yeah, I love Mr. Hill. And he gave me an opportunity to start off as a sales rep, which I never saw radio before. And I ended up being... Yes, I ended up being his general manager. But during the 5 years I was with him, God taught me how to do business. And because I watched, so I helped so many people in their business. So I was like, in 5 years, I was going to school and didn't know it.
Come on now, but he was teaching you something right then.
He was teaching me. So I went back in business on my own.
Look at that. Sheila, let me ask you this. Being a woman, a strong woman, and I know that sometimes even, I mean, you run into situations.
Oh, yeah.
And people, they want to tear you down.
They try.
Lift you up. They try.
They try.
And that builds you up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, and how did you, I mean, all of that, I'm listening, you were here from Atlanta, you came back, you started this, you stopped that, then you went to radio, then you learned from Mr. Hill how to navigate that personal business of your own. Were there stumbling blocks tried to be put in front of you?
Oh, yeah, definitely, including myself. I didn't believe I could do it on my own, you know? So I was really afraid when I first went into business. And most people are because it's a challenge. because you're responsible for everything.
Right.
But when I went back in, I'm a faith-based, so I'm a believer. And anything I ever do, before I do it, I always pray and wait for the answer.
Right.
And
I think that's my problem. I be want to hear it right then.
Yeah, I know. Most people do, but you got to wait.
Right.
And once you wait and he give you the answer, then you got to believe and have faith that it's going to take place. And God has led me do so much. Some people think that you're smart. I'm not smart at all. It's just that I listen very well, to God. I just listen to him. Once he tells you, it's like, okay, do this. And he don't even really tell you. He lets you make a decision. But he gives you he puts it in front of you. Because I do believe that our Father allows us to make sound decisions on our own.
I agree with you there.
Even when he gives it, he'll put it in front of you and say, okay, now. So everything I did, I always went to him, and once I got the answer, I went forward. And yes, it was difficult. Yeah, sometimes I was like, "You sure, God? You sure?" You know what I mean? And then if I just wait a little longer, here it comes. And then you're amazed because now you're going, "Wow, God is so awesome."
Yes, he is. And I wanted you to share your story because I know that there are so many young people out there who look up to you. There are young people out there who see what you've done. And I'll never forget the day when you said, "Oh, I paid for that building. That building is mine." I'll never forget when you told me that. I mean, but what I'm saying is, though, is the fact that we can educate them. And what a young man called me, Eddie Snell, Eddie Snell. He called me yesterday, and I had forgot to return his call until late yesterday afternoon. But the question he had to me was, and I want to see how you feel about this. He said that people were in the area where he works and said, "Well, Sunshine, people saying that they don't want to vote. They're not going to vote at all because they don't want to vote for a woman. They don't want, but they don't want to vote the other way because they don't believe in the traits." But I said, well, then what you're going to have to realize is when you don't vote, you've already voted. And I want those guys, those people. I don't know, Eddie. Maybe you could call me and tell me what you want me to ask. But the fact of it is, just because give a woman a chance. Don't look at a woman because she's a woman.
Yeah. I mean, believe it or not, men and women, they are different.
Of course.
Women are more detailed. When we have something in front of us, a task, we're going to make sure it gets done. We're going to make sure that we cross our T's and dot our I's.
That's right.
And we're going to think about it. We're not going to make quick decisions on it.
That's right.
So why they don't want a woman, so far all the women that is in Congress and senators, they're doing their thing, and their longevity.
They can't. I think another thing that he was talking about, they don't know how to separate your beliefs from politics.
Well, I think you have to do that.
You got to be able to separate that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and I know that they're doing the saying vote no for number 4. And I have mixed emotions with that. My faith tells me no, I don't believe in abortions. But my common sense tells me don't tell me what to do with my body. So I just feel a little different about that.
And I think that's where he was going.
Yeah, but I think that's all in between you and God, not you and man.
That's right.
They become the judge, and I don't think they should be the judge.
And you know what? You said the same. I said, look, they can worry about God gonna handle that.
Yeah. Sometimes men take things in their own hand, and it just get out of whack, and that's what makes us become divided between whether it's race or religion or politics. So sometimes we just have to step back and say, you know what? God say, I'm the vengeance.
Come on,
one, not
take
you.
Care of that. You know what I'm saying? Exactly. How do you feel about this thing now with the race issue? How it's going on? Woo! Don't make me go. Woo!
Well,
I mean, it's amazing.
It's amazing, but I'm excited. I was for Hillary Clinton when she really should have won.
Look at
I had to say that because she had over 3,000 votes, and that should have said that's it. But we have a country that believe in something that I think should be changed a long time ago. But you know, that's the way the forefathers set it up. So that's what we have to go with. But yes, I do believe that a woman can run this country as well as a man. She's the vice president. I know they're saying, well, she didn't do this, she didn't do that. She's the vice president.
Right.
She's not the president. She doesn't make that call. She may suggest, but she, you know, most people know that when you are working for someone or someone's over, you cannot make the decisions for them.
Thank you.
You have to listen to what they want you to do and follow those instructions. So there's some things that she was not able to do.
Right.
So that's why I believe now that she's in a position to do, she's going to do even better.
Amen. I had to get a woman's point of view. I've been waiting to get, I mean, you know,
I think
your name had been ringing in my head for the longest to get, right? Then remember the day I called you, said you were, I think you were on vacation somewhere?
Yes.
That's what that was for.
Oh, I was in Vegas somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, she was traveling. But the fact of it is, see, I wanted your opinion on that because you are a independent, strong woman that's doing things. And
it's hard.
It's hard.
It's hard being a woman and in charge of your business. You know, you got to remember, I still have a home. I still have, you know, take care of that. I still have a business. You know, I have grandbabies.
Yes.
You know, so you still have things that you, as a woman. But when it comes down to business, sometimes I am challenged by men. And it's okay.
We're going to talk about that more, okay? You hold that thought right there about this challenge with men. Look, I want you to be a part of this conversation at 850-432-7768. We've got Miss Shelia Green, entrepreneur herself. Self-built, and I love it so. With me today, and we want you to be a part of the conversation right here at Sunshine's Corner.
Good day, Pensacola. Welcome to a new segment on health and wellness sponsored by Baptist Healthcare in partnership with Sunshine's Corner. Every first Wednesday of the month during Sunshine's telecast, we're going to be bringing you information about health and wellness and ways to make sure we're improving the quality of your health care here in Pensacola. After all, we want to ensure that you're going to the right place at the right time and for the right reason, and that you don't feel alone. Can't wait to see you.
Many who consider facial plastic surgery are concerned their results will look unnatural. But with over 20 years of serving the Pensacola community, his thousands of satisfied patients have made Dr. Derek Jones a trusted reconstructive and facial plastic surgeon known for industry-leading results that look natural. Call 850-484-FACE to schedule a consultation at one of our locations in Pensacola and Gulf Breeze.
I'm Dr. Derek Jones. Trust your face to a facial plastic surgeon.
I vote because my mother voted. She was 40 years old. And I was 20 when she first voted. She said, Mamie Lee, take me to the registration office or wherever I need to go so that I can register to vote. So I vote for that reason, and I want everybody else to vote. Don't just talk, you gotta walk it like you talk it, and when you walk it, you are voting. So vote. I'm Mamie Webb Hickson, Director of the Writing Lab at the University of West Florida. Just vote.
Animal Allies is looking for volunteers, and there are many ways that you can help. From taking care of cats to using your computer and social media skills, any and all assistance is greatly appreciated. We have morning and afternoon shifts every day or help at adoption events. You can even foster a kitty at home. And it counts towards community service hours for bright futures. Find Animal Allies Florida on Facebook and Instagram, or go to aaflorida.org/volunteer.
And welcome back to the hottest spot in town. We are having such a fantastic conversation today with Miss Shelia Green. She is I just love saying entrepreneur, a young lady who has done great things and yet doing great things. And I know there are so many, you see how she's dressed, right? Fashionista. I said, what am I going to wear today? I said, oh God, I got to look good because she's looking good. She should be dressing me. But listen at this.
I can.
Listen at that. But listen at this. We were talking about, even off camera, how with your business, how you got going, and how with the men and how they can't deal with the fact sometimes of a strong woman. Is it the fact that you think that some men can't deal with a strong woman?
Yeah. I think we are intimidating sometimes.
But you would think a man would want a woman that's strong.
Some men do. Some men want strong women. Some men don't think they can keep up with us.
You think that's it?
Yeah, sometimes I think that we don't get approached because we are strong women.
Listen,
Sometimes women think that they don't get approached because they just don't get approached.
Right.
But that's not the case. Sometimes
Exactly.
they don't get approached because they are intimidated by strong women.
Come on, listen at this. Rest his soul, Don Parker told me that. He said, Sunshine, you probably never get married. He said, I can tell by the way you walk. And he was a mature man, right? I said, what do you mean, Don? He said, you strong. But I would think, in the business, how you have grown your business, and I mean, and everybody now you see, when they want something, you got to just look, see where they're going.
Yeah.
I mean, you got jazz, all that good stuff. You took that building. You purchased that building up. No, let me go back a little bit further. You had a building over there in Cordova Square.
Yeah, I was in Cordova Square over on Bayou Boulevard.
Yes.
I was there for 3 years, and I would have stayed there, but the parking, the facility, it was so many doctor offices there, and customers were complaining that there was nowhere to park, so they would get mad and just leave. And so it started, the traffic was deteriorating, so it was time for me to move. So that's when I went downtown.
And you purchased that big building.
Well, no, before
you went downtown.
I went downtown on 9th Avenue, right behind those cute little houses behind McDonald's.
I remember that.
Yeah, the pink one. Yeah, I tried to buy that one too, but the guy didn't like the
I understand.
So he wouldn't sell it to me.
I got you. Now you see what I'm saying, that we experience sometimes, but you didn't let that hold you back, because sometimes it is, and I'm going to be totally transparent today, ladies and gentlemen. When I tell you sometimes, if you could stand in our shoes, I wonder, could you handle it?
Well, the truthful about that building is I love the area. I love the area, even though the building was small, and it was just nice and quaint. But the guy wasn't a good landlord, and so I offered to buy the building, and he sold it to the girl next door that owned her building and the lot next to it.
Oh, wow.
So when he did that, that's how it became It's Personal.
Oh, that's how you, I wonder, that was on the list to ask. How did you come up with the name It's Personal?
Yeah, that's how I came up with it. I felt like I was discriminated against because I was a black female, and he wouldn't sell it to me, so he sold it to the girl next door, which owned her building and the lot next to it. So I was like, okay.
I'm not going to It's Personal. Oh,
that's how I changed the name of my business. I said, It's Personal now. So, and my motto is, anything that I want, I have to own it. I don't want to rent anything, nor borrow. So it became It's Personal.
Oh, I love it. Look at that story. I didn't know.
You didn't know how I came up with It's Personal?
Because when you first came out, I said, It's Personal by Shelia. Okay. I said, okay. But now I understand the story. And I really see the gist behind that now. And I'm tying all these things in with today. And I'm tying all these things in with what I want to encourage people to realize, that the fight that Vice President Harris has on her hand. But she's a strong woman, and she's holding steadfast to it. But therefore, and also I'm painting to you by what Shelia just shared with us, is the fact that when you want something, own it.
Own it. Just straight out own it.
Own it.
Well, you have more power.
Right.
And you can do more. You can make different choices. You can change it when you want to. It's just yours. You don't have to call and ask anyone. It's, like I said, it's just yours. And when you say something about Vice President Harris, I understand what she's going to do besides just running for office. Right. She's got a lot of demons to fight. First of all, some blacks don't want her. Some is not going to vote for her. That's right. That's one thing. Some men don't want to vote because she's a female. So she still has to prove herself 100% more than President Biden has, or even President Obama, because now she's a woman.
Exactly.
You know, so she has to prove herself over and over again, and not just with her, but even as women on the level that we are on.
Exactly.
We have to continue to prove ourselves over and over, no matter how good of a job we do.
Yeah. It's always that we got to put even more into it than anybody else because of that fact.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter because you're black or white. Most women have to prove that they can do the job, and that,
still you don't get the credit.
And we still don't get the credit. But that's okay. I think time is changing.
I hope so. I hope so. You said something right then that was very, very so powerful and so true. It doesn't matter the fact that I wish people would stop looking at the fact of her pigmentation. Stop looking at that and look at her credentials. Okay? Just look at her credentials. Look at a person's credentials before you look at what their beautiful pigmentation is. Whether she's black or white. Leave that alone.
Yeah, but she has pulled her bootstrings up on her arm. She didn't have a silver spoon in her mouth. Everything that she has done.
Went to an HBCU?
Yeah, she has worked for it. And to me, that's enough credit for me.
Exactly.
You know, sometimes most politicians, already is in the swing, either their fathers or their mothers.
Had
or
money.
Somebody them paved the way for them.
Silver spoon in the beginning.
Yeah, like the one that's running against her. You know, so I think that she is a middle class.
That's right.
You know, she thinks middle class. So everything that she has done, I think, is I just like it.
You by yourself. And I want to say this too, because I want people to realize this. Forget the fact, and stop saying that we're voting for her because she's black. No, it's not.
No.
Please stop that. Please stop that.
Yeah, because I'm not voting for her because she's black.
Yeah, but no, that's not it.
No.
That is not it. Look at what she brings to the table.
Yeah, that's right.
Look at what she's saying that she can do to better the country. And I mean, I don't know about anybody else, but I'm sure that I'm not the only one that's tired of all the rhetoric, all the name calling, all of that. It's not because she's black.
No, because we have someone that thinks that cats and dogs should be eating. You know, so,
give me one for dinner.
Yeah, so I mean, if you want to vote for someone like that, you know,
that's your choice.
Have those kind of thoughts, or you know, don't mind grabbing the woman by the, then you know, that's your choice.
It's your choice.
You know, but just remember, that's your choice.
That's right. Nobody's telling you anything, but what I ask people to do is, and don't say that, because I've had so many people say, "Oh, you're only doing that because she's black." Wrong answer.
No.
That's not it. That's not it. And allow this woman the opportunity, because she has the credentials. Look what she has done as a prosecutor. Look how she worked her way up. And all I'm saying, that is why I wanted another strong woman to talk about the things that we go through. And you're not running for office, but you had to do the same thing here to get to where Shelia is today, to say that Shelia is that entrepreneur that owns her own thing.
Yes, I try to you know, build up our community.
Exactly.
I try to make sure that I give them, when I'm doing something, give them the best. It doesn't matter to me whether they're black, white, Mexican. That's not important to me.
I follow you.
Yeah, it's just not important to me, because I see people as people. You know, and I will always see people as people. You know, it's the.
I wish people would do that and stop just looking at it because of their pigmentation.
Well, you know what? God taught me something even on that. I remember I was in Cordova Square one day, and I was very seldom I worked Cordova Square by myself.
Right.
But this particular day I worked by myself, and my place has always been a place where you come and get counseling. We talk. Yeah. It was a chit-chat area.
Exactly.
You know, because it was women.
That's right.
You know, so we talked about everything. Women from divorcees or just everything. You can imagine, I have seen kids grow up.
Exactly.
And this particular night, I dreamt that I wasn't talking to white women. And I was saying to myself, when I woke up, I was like, God, that's not true. But who else would have known that? But him.
Exactly.
And so one day I was in the store by myself, and so happened, you know, a white female came in, and he said, "This is the time." And I said, "Well, what do I say?" Just talk. And it just so happened that particular day, And it taught me a lot, and maybe I was not even aware of it.
Exactly.
And we talked for about 3 hours. No one never came in the store.
God had it set that way.
Yes, and she was contemplating to do suicide.
Uh-huh.
She had just lost her husband. And it was just a touching story. And I ended up talking to her son. We became friends, just from that little talk. So now I'm aware of when I'm talking to people that I talk to everybody.
Come on, exactly.
So.
And you're not a stranger to, when you meet Shelia, you don't meet a stranger. You don't meet somebody that's going to go, snub nose. No, you're going to meet somebody that's going to smile, hey, what's been up? You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. How you doing? And the fact of it, and every time I see Anita, I always say, hey, Anita, I remember Anita when you all were together.
Yeah.
For such a long time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But the fact of it is, when you talk to Anita, it's nothing. She's girl, those were the days. You know what I mean? But the fact that I'm trying to convey to the community today is what I want them to see with us as women, with us as people, that we deserve everything that's deserving to everybody else.
Yes.
You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
And even though when we are working towards something, we have to work double hard. We have to prove ourselves over and over. But that doesn't mean that you stop.
No.
That should be your motivating factor that you're going to work even harder to do what you have to do. And with that being said, look at you today. You went through radio. You went through, moving from Atlanta back here, now back here, and I hope this does not affect, you lost your husband. And but when I saw you work through that, now that was strong.
Oh, that was very strong.
When I saw you navigate through that.
Well, I had 2 businesses to run.
Yeah.
Plus a household. It was really strong because I was working with nothing but men. And sometimes, my husband was a transmission owner, so he owned Savers Transmission. And he had been there for so many years, and so many people that still see me and tell me that their car is still running because of my husband, because of the transmission. But running that business without him was a challenge.
Now, I'm saying, I know that had to be something, because I know Bill had that over there under control.
It was a challenge.
And I will never forget one day downtown at the MLK. I don't want you to well your eyes up. I went down one day to the MLK parade. He had this car. I said, oh my God, that is so pretty. And he was standing by. I said, can I drive? He said, no, you need to talk to Shelia about that.
He had built me this car, because, he was into drag racing.
Yeah.
And he had built me this car. And the only time I drove it is when I was
it was pretty
going in the MLK parade.
Yeah.
So
I get
that's
it.
the only time I ever driven it.
He said, oh, you got to ask Shelia about that.
So it sat in the garage for years because, after he passed, I didn't go to any more of the MLK. I didn't get into the parade, so it's been sitting in the garage.
Absolutely. Everybody, we're talking to Miss Shelia Green, and I tell you, I'm going to get off that subject because I see her eyes. Look, we're going to come back, and I want you to be a part of it as well. Call me up, and let's just give Shelia her flowers while she's here. 850-432-7768. Sunshine's Corner on Blab TV.
You finally found the perfect car in racing blue. You even got them to throw in the LED fog lights for free. Auto Owners insures your car because some people never learn to parallel park. That's simple human sense.
Ask the Messick Insurance Agency in Pensacola if auto owners make sense for you.
Keep going. More. No, stop!
I am going to vote. I vote because I want my voice heard. For many years, people like me were silenced. Women were silenced. So I vote to make sure that my voice will be heard. I'm Dr. Yvonne Capehart, and I encourage you to just vote.
Watch a new episode of Crime Stoppers Wanted Fugitives every Friday at 6 p.m. Hosted by Sergeant Melanie Peterson and David Craig. Your tips may be eligible for a cash reward, featuring items about officer training, various aspects of police work, and crime prevention information. You'll hear about upcoming family-friendly engagement events as well. Don't miss Crime Stoppers Wanted Fugitives every Friday at 6 p.m.
Well, I think it's all about local, and I'm a big believer in local. So I think anytime you can carry a message out locally, it's important. And I think it's anytime the person that delivers the service can also deliver the message, which is unusual. You have the people that actually deliver the project doing the talking, and I think that's a huge difference, and really makes a huge value difference for the consumer. So I'm really just so grateful that we have this local opportunity with Blab TV. My name is Quint Studer, and I am Blab TV.
And welcome back to this Thursday edition of Sunshine's Corner. And let me reiterate the fact that we are under a possibility of some bad weather this afternoon, according to the forecast. Now, I'm not a meteorologist. Now, Summerlin was here yesterday, and she was telling you about the weather, how it's going to be today. It's going to be rain this afternoon, rather heavy. But I encourage you to continue to listen for all the alerts, because, there's only one person who really knows where that storm is going, and that's him upstairs. So what I want you to do is make sure that you are aware, because all the schools are out today, the state offices are closed, so be aware of that and make sure you prepare. It's best to prepare than not to prepare. But let's go back and prepare for some more conversation with my good friend, Miss Shelia Green, today. And we were talking about how it's so difficult when you're building your foundation and somebody's trying to tear the walls down. The same thing that's happened with the lady as the vice president in the world today, what they're trying to do. Mm-hmm. And I thought, who would better be able to talk about those things to encourage those who want to start their own business? That they can do that today just as you did. And Sheila, I have to say, and you have done a phenomenal job.
Well, I've been in business now going on, 33 years?
And she was actually 35. Okay.
33 years, that's a long time.
So she was just a baby. Okay, let's hold up. Somebody's calling us. Let's see who wants to talk to us this morning. Okay, good morning.
Good morning, Sunshine. Good morning, Miss Sheila. How y'all doing this beautiful day?
It's a beautiful day on the outside.
I just wanted to call and say y'all looking very beautiful on there. I see y'all beautiful spirit just shining through. And I am so happy to see two beautiful, strong black women on the stage together, sharing their stories and just sharing great stories of leadership in all the avenues that you have to go through and endure.
That's right.
That is beautiful that y'all made it to the other side, and I just want to say that y'all need to keep up the good work, because y'all are setting an example for all of us, men, black boys, young girls, black women, everybody all around on how to be successful, because you have to be consistent.
Yes, exactly. It is. Consistency word. Thank you, darling.
You're welcome. Y'all have a blessed day and be safe out there.
All right, you too now. All righty, bye-bye. We've got another caller. Okay, let's see here. Let's go to the other line right about now. Here we go. And good morning.
Good morning. How y'all doing this morning, young ladies?
We're doing fine. How about you?
Both of y'all the clean as a bowl of help. Let me say that. This is Eddie Snell. All right.
Hey, Eddie.
Let me tell y'all something. I'm really proud of Sheila. I'm proud of you, Linda. And I understand what it is, too, because my mother was on her business in Atmore, Alabama. She was a beautician. My father died when I was 7 years old. My mother raised up. She did hair. She was a cosmetologist, instructor, had her own school.
Right.
So I can appreciate you all, Sheila. And so I don't care what no other man said. I know it's hard for women, and I'm proud of you. Keep on doing what you're doing, and God bless you. And Linda, what I was telling you the other day about what I was hearing in the barbershop, the Ben was saying about the ministers, they're not going by the Bible in the beginning. I know you said that, let God handle it. But their problem is that they feel like they should go by the Bible in the beginning. So I was trying to figure out the separation between government and religion and government. So
but that's what we got to do is separate the two. You know, we got.
Y'all blessed day. Keep on doing what y'all doing.
Thank you, darling. I appreciate your love. I tell you, this is what we're talking about, like getting into the conversation. We got another caller, so everybody wants to be a part of this conversation. I encourage you. 850-432-7768. Now, this is what I also want you to realize. This is a safe place where you can have that conversation. Whatever it is on your mind, be a yay or nay, call me. Let's talk about it. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you all doing this morning?
We're doing wonderful.
I admire y'all attire. You all look very beautiful this morning.
Well, thank you so much.
And I'm very proud of Miss Shelia and her personal issues that she's got going on with her business that she has. And I've heard the great stories and shared them among some of the things that I admire about the business that she has. And I'm very proud of both of you all, really. You know, and as a black man, I'm not voting for Kamala Harris just because she's black. I'm voting for her because she's a very unique, wonderful, educated individual.
Yes.
That's what I'm talking about. You know, and you know, I'm glad that you said that, Carla, because of the fact that we want everybody to get that out of their head just because she's black. Look at what she brings to the table.
Yes, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah. You know, and I'm like I say, I look at Harriet Tubman and some of our great founders that has stood behind some of the great black men in America, and I would like for a lot of black men to appreciate the things that life has offered us over the years among our black women.
Amen. I agree with you 100%. Man, I could talk to you all day long.
Yeah. Okay.
But thank you so much, sir. Thank you. And I know she's smiling because I tell you, she's a strong woman that has done a lot of things and she's yet doing it.
Oh, yes. And I want you all to have a wonderful day and continue doing what you're doing. And I'll be a great supportive of you all.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Have a great day, sir. And you see, this is what I'm talking about. Bye-bye. Everybody, this is a place right here where we can feel comfortable having a conversation. What we can do is have a conversation about difficult things. And the fact that what I'm telling you is this: I want you yourself to realize there is nothing that you cannot do. There's nothing that you don't deserve. We deserve everything that is offered as well.
Oh yeah, we have worked. Let's say I have seen my mother work hard.
Of course, let's not go there.
My grandmother worked hard. You know, I remember my great grandmother.
Exactly.
You know, we all lived together.
You know, and we got another. Sheila, you bringing up my phone today. Somebody else want to talk to you. I mean, she said, okay, but look, did I tell you? Even last night when I put it up, I said, oh my God. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes, ma'am. Good morning.
Hi, this is Rose Williams, and I just wanted to commend Sheila on the program that she did also in the community in a tutoring program for kids that were in Brownsville.
Yes, she did.
Yes,
she did. Thank you so much, because I had forgotten about that.
Yeah,
right. Just wanted to bring that out, that she did a wonderful job with that program.
Thank you so much, ma'am. And thank you for calling.
Thank you, Ms. Rose.
All right, bye-bye. And you see what I'm saying, everybody? These are things that I had forgotten about, the things that you've accomplished, but the community don't forget.
Yeah, well, you know, I had a young man in my store with his grandmother, and she was busy getting dressed, changing clothes. And so I usually have like little books. And I was like, let's read, you know,
right,
to
of
keep
course.
the kid kind of occupied while
she was doing what she had to do.
Of course, you know, I'm a salesperson, so I want to make sure she's happy. and the little boy didn't know how to read.
Oh.
And he was in the 3rd grade. And I just thought it was just like, wow, you know.
I got to do something.
And sometimes, you know, we talk about things. Mm-hmm. Well, what about you? Why can't you do it?
That's right.
And that's what was brought to me. And so last year and this year, it's my 2nd year, and we do summer tutoring for kindergarten through 3rd grade.
So, see, now you're telling me even more.
Yeah, it's a free program, Monday through Thursday. It's only during the summer.
Right.
And
to keep them busy so they'll be ready for the upcoming school year.
So we only teach a couple of things. Penmanship, teaching them how to write their names and write correctly when they go to school, reading, and
but you're
math.
Teaching them the fundamentals.
That's all we teach is that. And of course, you know, we feed them. So it's, you know, it's great having the kids there, you know, teaching them manners, teaching them how to act when they go to school.
Of course.
And I always say that, you know, when you go back to school, I want you to do this. I want you to do this. You know, I want you to listen. I want you to write your name where she can read it.
Exactly. They're in their head. They don't just take the time outside, ride the bicycle on the PlayStation. You know what I'm saying? And they lose that. What they had already comprehended from the other year, now to catch back up, and you keep them there.
Yes.
So you've been doing this the second year. So I mean, everybody know what Brownsville is. You know what? You see that great big sign is personal.
Yeah, and we do it in the back of, you know, in the building.
Right.
So we don't have to worry about
huge
going
building.
anywhere. And the kids, they love it, you know, and I love the kids. And I remember the last day, one of the kids started crying. And I said, why are you crying? And he said, because I'm not coming back.
Oh, my, that would make me cry.
I did. I started crying. I just had to walk away because I was like, oh, my God. You know, you can start touching these kids.
That's
right. They touch my heart.
You know when you're doing something right. You know exactly when you're doing something. Something just hit me here. What I'm so pleased with today. You know how many men that called when we were saying that men cannot handle a strong woman? I guess they said, well, let me let you know a little bit about this. But the fact of it is there are a lot of men that call, and I appreciate that. But the fact of it is, this is a place right here where we want the community to be abreast of what's going on. You know? And what I do, and what you're even spreading the message even more so today, see, what we're talking about fits everybody.
Yes.
Red, yellow, black, white, or brown.
Well, you know, we had a program, Linda, speaking of program, sometimes I forget what I do, you know, because it's like I don't keep notes of it. You know, I just say next, you know, what's the next project? We had a program called Christian Women Job Corps. It was part of Southern Baptist Women Mission Union. I don't know if you're familiar with that particular program, but Christian Women Job Corps was a program that assisted women that dropped out of high school. And I think I had it for about 8 or 9 years, and that's how I got to Brownsville.
Okay.
You know, through Brownsville Baptist Church. It was their church.
Vaguely, I remember that.
Yeah, and it was a program. We had free daycare, free transportation, and we was there for 8 years. And we had a lot
graduates
that graduated from that received their GED.
Really?
Yeah,
so got the certificate because they dropped out.
And received their high school diploma, and they have become good people. I mean, I'm talking about some of the women come back and tell me, you know, they're a nurse now, or
absolutely.
And I just like, wow, you know, working with maybe. I know she had one young lady had a good job working with Home Depot. She's working with the corporate office. So we developed a lot of women coming through that program that did something with themselves.
That's what I'm talking about.
And I'm very proud of that. But I'm more proud when they come back and tell me their success.
Okay, but
I mean, how thankful they are. So I'm really happy about that.
But the community sees it, and that's a good thing. We're going to talk more about that. Now, Sheila, I tell you, give her flowers while she's here. 850-432-7768. Call her up and just let her know how much you appreciate her. We're going to be back with more of this with a strong entrepreneur, Miss Sheila Green, right here on Sunshine's Corner.
I had a lot of family growing up that voting was the key factor to life and what you want in your future. I have 4 children, and I want to make a difference for them in our future. We gotta vote. You gotta have a voice. I'm Samantha Williams, and I encourage you to just vote.
Lloyd's Glass and Correct Calibration Services is a one-stop shop because you can come get your windshield replaced, and right behind that replacement at the same appointment, we will calibrate the cameras, and when you leave, everything's ready to go. There's no need to go to the dealership, or there's no need to come back for another appointment. We just take care of it at one time. We put the customer first, and we strive to do everything right the first time.
Lloyd's Glass and Correct Calibration Services, your one-stop shop with same-day service.
Gilmarine, your one-stop shop for all your boating needs. We offer a vast selection of parts, accessories, and electronics. Discover our range of used boats in every size, shape, and brand, all ready to get you on the water today. And we provide expert advice and top-notch customer service to ensure you have the best boating experience. We service all outboard, inboards, stern drives, jet drives, and personal watercraft. Our certified staff will get you back on the water. Visit Gil Marine at 3541 West Fairfield Drive, Pensacola.
My father told us he paid the cost to be the boss, which meant whatever he told you to do, you better do. So we were told you must vote. He would sit us down at a round table and go over the reasons why you needed to vote, why it was so important, that he fought for us to make sure that we could vote and that we were to fight for ourselves and for his grandchildren. My name is Jill Lewis Staggs. I am the state committee woman for Okaloosa County, and I'm here to tell you, just vote.
Me neither. And welcome back to the hottest spot in town. I tell you, Sunshine's Corner. We're just reminiscing on things. And what's her name?
Miss Sylvia.
I want to say, hey, Miss Sylvia. Miss Sylvia is thebomb.com.
Miss Sylvia is one of my, I have a lot of older, mature customers, and
Miss Sylvia wore them heels like this.
Oh, Miss Sylvia wore heels like
6 inches.
I was like, she can wear heels better than I can wear heels.
Thank you. You and me both.
And I love heels, but she was one of those women that wore heels for so many years, and I admired her. And most of my customers, she's like, Miss Sylvia's like 80-something, and she was still wearing heels. I was
6 inch heels.
Okay, I said, there's hope for me.
I tell you, when I saw her in a fashion show you did, and I was hosted, when she walked out there strutting with those heels and those spikes on those shoes,
Yes.
I said, Lord, that would be me. I would have fallen off the stage. You know what I'm saying?
And she could turn around and everything.
I know. But you see what I'm saying? Now, I did that to make this differentiation from toddlers to mature women of age. You have a gap right there for them. And that speaks volumes within itself. Because what it takes is when a person builds trust with you, trust is a foundation for anything.
Yes.
If I can't trust you, I'm not going to believe you. If I can't trust you, how am I going to take anything that you tell me? Because trust is the best foundation you can have.
Oh, yeah.
Trust is something that's earned. You can't buy it.
That's right. That's right.
Trust is something, and you see, that's what is shown, even with the young ladies that you've helped that go out and do things, come back and tell you, oh, Miss Sheila, I'm doing this, or, oh, Miss Sheila, thank you for that. Just like with the guys who, the people that will call in today, just to say thank you, because you've been in that building stationary. They know that you're there.
Oh, yeah. I'm so, the story about the building, I didn't look to buy a building in Brownsville.
Right.
That just wasn't my.
I understand.
I wasn't going to Brownsville.
Right.
And but God woke me up in a dream.
Right.
Here I go again.
He speaks to us that way.
He speaks to me in my dream, and he told me, I dreamt that he said, you're gonna own a building on T and Cervantes Street. So I was like, oh, okay.
Did I hear you, Jesus?
Oh, okay. And I wasn't looking. So one day I was at the ministry at CWJC because, Pastor John Pavlis allowed me to come into Brownsville Baptist Church and set up shop.
Right.
And we were able to put our classroom there, and that's when we had the State College.
Exactly.
So long story short, I was leaving from Home Depot, Office Depot, buying some supplies, and I was headed back to the ministry, and God said, go look for the building. And I was like, nah, I don't want to look for the building. That's what I said. I'm talking to him like he's sitting right there next to me. And the next thing you know, I was on the corner of T and Cervantes Street, and I was like, how did I get here?
Exactly.
I stopped. And so when I turned back around, there was a sign on that building that says for sale or for lease. And so I said, is this where you want me to go? So I said, okay, I'll call the number.
That's right.
So I called the number, and history. I had
there it is. You see, and you're saying something else I think is very important. Some people may not have that relationship with our Father, but when you hear when she's telling what he says to her, you have to be in tune. You have to know when it's him that's talking to you, because he said that I will speak to my young people in dreams. He said, I will talk to you. He said, when you talk to you hear that soft, small voice. It's not like, hi, Sheila, go look at that building over there. No. You know, because you got to have that relationship that you know that's from him, because it's not really an audible voice that you hear, but you know it because it's here.
Oh yeah. You know it. If you heard it once, you know it.
And you know, it's not something you can describe, but you know it's from him. But by being obedient, look where you are today. By being obedient, look what you're sitting here inspiring people to do today from what God has brought you from. And people see that in the community, and you are what? Still standing strong.
And the funny thing about that too, Linda, is I'm looking for a building with no job.
You see, but God is your supplier.
Yes, that's what I want people to know. You don't have to have money.
That's
if
right.
you have faith and
That's
if
right.
you believe. You know, and at that particular time, I wasn't working. I had
Come on now.
left the 9th Avenue.
That's right.
And
Exactly right. Exactly right.
I was volunteering for the ministry. I volunteered there for I think like the 9 years I was there. And so it was strange for me to tell the lady, yes, I'm interested in buying a building that didn't have a job.
Come on now.
You know.
But people got to realize when he takes you to something, he's going to take you through it. And he has a plan. But the fact of it is, we want to see that you trust him. He wants to know that you trust him, because I look at people like this. I know for a fact he's the bank.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
He's the bank. When he's got something for you, man can't stop it.
Man can't stop it.
It can't stop it at all. And I just want to say to you, for all that you brought today to inspire our viewing audience, to inspire those to even help make that decision on what they're going to do in this important election season. I don't want people to relax and just say, okay, we got this. No. We want to do this with a landslide. I mean, we want to, whatever way it is that God has set, man can't stop it. But I'll say this. Go ahead.
But there's one thing that I believe, and I tell people this. What's important to you?
Exactly.
What's important is making sure. Are you worried about gas going up? Are you worried about when you can go get gas?
Oh, I hear you now. Come on, I like
you
that.
Know, because dictatorship tell you when you can do things.
That's right.
You know, so I'd rather pay a little bit more in gas
than somebody to
tell me when I can go get gas.
And you said something powerful there, that dictatorship. If you have not read Project 2025, you need to.
Yes.
When you brought up that dictatorship. And with the fact that even when you say dictatorship, or what you have done and accomplished and been very successful at, is the fact that your dictatorship came from him. And the fact that you listen and look where you are today and still growing. And how can I get a building? I'm not working. The man who owned the building, you don't have to work.
Yeah, that's right.
He'll come around you. Somebody will give you that building.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
You know
Pretty
what I'm
much.
saying?
And that's why I end up buying the buildings.
Exactly.
From
but that's a great thing, because I remember when you moved in that building over there. I really do.
A lot of people thought I was crazy.
I remember. But you know that building was not on this side where you do the events now. It was not like that at first.
Well, you know, no, it wasn't. I changed a lot of things.
You changed a lot of things in that building.
Yeah, so, you know, now we have a, Miko is opening up a bakery next door to me. You know, I rented that building out to her. You know, so we're going to have a bakery in Brownsville. So I'm really excited about that.
Get out of here.
Yeah, so we're trying to build Brownsville. There are several businesses in Brownsville that has come. I tried to encourage people when I first moved there to come in, let's buy up Brownsville. But everybody was like, no, they couldn't see the vision. And I said, okay, well, you'll be renting then.
Come on down.
And that's what they're doing.
Are you going to do the lighting of that Christmas tree in Brownsville again? If everything works? Because I know you did it one year.
I would love to do that in it. I have to talk to my pastor, Lieutenant Timothy, and see what he says.
Hey, Pastor May, I called you. Anyway. But the fact of it is, that was a great thing, because when you say you're building up Brownsville, then, I mean, because there's a lot of things that's going to be happening over there in Brownsville anyway. And you've already got that tad already covered. You know what I'm saying?
Brownsville has changed a lot since
time.
I've been there. When I first moved into Brownsville, yes, we did have a lot of prostitution walking down the street, but it's not like that. It's not like that. There's a lot.
You made me almost choke on that coffee, girl.
Well, it was. I used to have to call, hi, this is Shelia Green, and you know, and tell them what's happening. But I don't have that problem. I never had a problem since I've been there. I've been in Brownsville now 14 years, and I never had nobody try to break in my business. Nobody mess with none of my customers' cars. I haven't had any problems whatsoever.
I saw you had Deborah Dunlap over there.
Yeah, Miss Dunlap, she comes to my jazz shows.
Yeah.
And, you know, I decorate for them for their fur ball.
Yeah.
At the Scenic Hill Country Club. And, yeah, so that's my friend.
Yeah. I see her.
So, you know, we do jazz.
Yep.
And we done had a lot of jazz artists
I know.
that come through. We have one come, you know, I do an annual red party. And we have... you know, when you turn my age, you forget certain things, guys. You have to write it down. And I'm getting older, so I forget things. And I can't even tell you who artist coming in.
But she got somebody. I'll let you know.
I have somebody coming. I'll think of his name before. Somebody.
Well, that's okay, Sheila. That's okay. Now, tell everybody if they want to get in touch with you, how they can do that.
They can call me at 850-377-4692. We rent our building out for weddings, receptions, you know, birthday parties, a little bit of everything. We do fundraisers, you name it, we have done it. And we continue to want to serve the community.
Absolutely, and you're doing it well too. And everybody, if you did not get that number, if you inbox me, I'll give it to you. If you want to talk to her about some things she's got going on, I guarantee I'll hook you up with it. And I'll tell you, can you believe we've been here an hour? The time is already gone.
Wow, no,
it has
fast. You told me it's going to go by fast.
I told you it's going to go fast. Because once we get to talk about important things, we don't look at a clock. We think about how important it is and the way that we have the community involved. And I'm sure I will have inboxes this afternoon out the way. Because some people who are afraid to call or don't like to be on the air, they'll inbox me and say, oh, well, Sonshine, I like that, or I like that, on and on. But I want to say thank you for what you do, what you have done, being the strong woman that you are. And continue to do that. No, this will not be the last time, because you will be here even more. Okay? Thank you, Sheila.
You're welcome. Thank you, Linda, for inviting me.
You're so welcome. And everybody, wow, I've got to get out of here. But listen to this. Be careful today. The weather's going to be changing this afternoon. But I'll leave you as I do every single day, my dear friends. Never, ever, ever lose your focus. Always remember, you keep God first, and whatever you do, I'll guarantee you this. You're going to be a total success. So until tomorrow at 9 o'clock, know that I love you with a perfect kind of love. Keep shining while I'm gone. Be safe. Bye for now. Sonshine's Corner, being brought to you by Quint and Richie Studer.